Welcome to the No Bull Political Arena with your hosts, Sophia Nelson, Bill O'Reilly, Brian Mistro, and TJ McCormick. It's real voices, raw politics, and no bullshit. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Arena. I'm here with Lauren Coombe. This is Brian Mistro.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks, Lauren, as always. So we've been talking about this for the last couple of sessions, and we've always had this consistent little asterisk out there that, hey, this may not be the deal, but this is what it sounds like the deal is. But when we get the deal, the specifics of the deal in, then we'll address it. So there was always that maybe, maybe not kind of stuff out of there. Well, we've got the deal now. And it's worse than what we were even professing it to be. So I've got the whole deal, Lauren, and those that are watching. I'm going to put it up here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. If you have the inclination, anybody in the audience, that you do want to read the specifics of it, you can read it on here by pressing pause after this is done, or go to the New York Times, or wherever. They've got it out on numerous different outlets now, and it's all the same thing. But there are a couple of things that I do want to point out. So, number one, the U.S. and Iran will work in reaching a deal on their nuclear deal within 60 days. And so I want to specify on that one. I'm going to come back to that one in a second. Number two, the deal is for 60 days with an agreement to try to reach an agreement, but it can be postponed mutually indefinitely. That's a big one. We've just talked about the nuclear stockpile. So the nuclear stockpile, while they mention it in here, it's not being removed. Okay, there is no guarantees and no oversight or any of that. It's what we all feared. It's a pinky promise with the concession that we'll talk about it more into the future. And one of the last ones that I really want to highlight in this 14-point deal is that the United States is going to fully unfreeze all of their assets, with most of their assets being unfrozen up front. And even more importantly, and you and I talked about this, Lauren, just the other day, they're going to allow Iran to sell their oil on the open market without sanctions. They're going to give them all access to all the banking, which may be the biggest point of any part of this deal. And Iran gets to maintain control of the strait. This deal is what absolute complete defeat looks like politically. There's never been, and I will say it now with confidence, I've been hinting at it the last couple of days, I'll now say it with confidence. There's been no deal, and certainly not a deal in modern history, to where the United States has been so strategically defeated in this amount of time ever. It is the worst possible deal that they could do. And I'm going to grow a couple of contrasts between this because this is important. So Donald Trump canceled the JCPOA. For those that don't know, that was the Obama deal that everybody hated because Obama gave them. Yeah, it was a JCPOA. It was in what? I think he killed it in 2017. But don't. Yeah. So Obama's deal gave them unfrozen assets of $1.7 billion up front in cash, and it was their money. But it was unfrozen assets. And then the Obama deal gave them access to $50 billion in unfrozen liabilities. That, again, this was their money. It was $50 billion. What this deal does is it, number one, gives them half of $22 billion up front. So that's $12 billion up front. Nope, they're just giving it to them up front. They're going to give them total relief of the of the stuff that they have in banks and everywhere else. They're going to give them total relief of up to 100 billion. And then on top of that, they're creating a fund for $300 billion. And in all of this, it specifically says Iran can use that money, any of this money, in any way it wants. So,
Yeah, there's no
Lauren,
restrictions. Yeah.
you tell me, if you're Iran, how are you going to use that money? You're
Well,
gonna, you
that's
know
the
what?
thing.
It's going to go to your proxies. It's going to go to Hezbollah. It's going to go to building more
Exactly.
rockets. None of that is addressed. There is no discussion about what they're going to do with the rockets. They're going to let them keep them, and I'm going to come back to that one. Their nuclear program, they get to keep it. What the hell? I mean, the only thing that's changed since the start of this war was that they're going to be hundreds of billions of dollars richer, control the strait. Now they don't have to worry about the United States attacking them. They don't have to
Yeah.
worry about their nuclear deal. They don't have to worry about their intercontinental ballistic missiles. Tell me, Lauren. All right, I'm going to
He
pass it
keeps
on to you.
talking too and saying it. Did you hear it? I mean, it's like every I'll check Twitter and it's like every hour there'll be like a new video where he just talked about the missiles. I don't really think I need to do anything with that. I'm like, it keeps getting worse,
It keeps
But
getting worse.
yeah,
Um,
after we got off last night, that's when I saw it on Bloomberg personally, but
mhm.
the leaked deal came out and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's like I don't understand how it could be any worse than it is. But yeah, I mean the status quo thing, the wording that I, I mean the unfrozen assets up front. It's really frustrating that people are well, actually, people are not defending this. I
No,
don't
they're
know if you've
not.
noticed. I kind of wanted to talk about that because from what I've seen, it's probably the first time in a year and a half that I have seen certain people angry at him, and it's kind of surprising. Um, but I think people are just like, what the heck? I mean, it doesn't make a single lick of sense. Um, I just don't get it. But yeah, the JCPOA, you cannot criticize that and then be okay with this.
No.
Um,
And at least in the
it
JCPOA, it did require Iran to reduce their no enrichment beyond 5%, and it was
it's
constantly
like
monitored
3%.
by the
Yeah,
by the IAEA. So it was a monitor. They don't even get this there. They don't even get
I know.
this
And they had to ship out 97% of their, I think it was 20%
to
enriched
Russia.
uranium by that
Yep.
point.
Yes, they
Now we
did.
have some 60% nuclear dust, vague dust, whatever that means, that maybe they will work with Iran to destroy. It's like, what? So, and then I think they're gonna, what I'm concerned about is I think they're gonna want us to get out of the region.
Yes,
That's
that's another
mind-boggling
requirement.
to me too. I don't think Obama was like even entertaining that type of idea. I mean, it just seems like he's being worked by these people, and I don't understand the complete 180.
It is. I mean, the sanctions are now completely lifted. The sanctions were lifted the moment that they signed it. So it's no wonder that he didn't want Israel to see this, because if you're Israel, you have to be absolutely lividly pissed with
Livid.
this. Because
And they don't know
also,
if there's Lebanon included in there, by the way,
that's right. And
right?
so that's a point of it. They talk about this, that we'll cease hostilities, both the United States and our allies, by the way, that's Israel. That's a little hint.
Yeah.
The United States and our allies will refrain from attacking Lebanon or any of the other associated groups. Well,
Yeah.
shit. I
I know
guess so.
that's
What
so
happens when they attack us? Or Israel? What is Israel supposed to do? Just let them bomb their cities? I mean, it just this entire deal is. I said in February when this started going on, I said, it's not that I'm against the deal, I'm against who's doing it, because
Mhm.
every single thing that Donald Trump does, he, excuse my language, fucks it up. And this is the greatest F up in the history of all diplomacy, certainly since I've been alive. He makes Jimmy Carter look like a miracle worker. So it is absolutely horrible. I'm gonna move on to another slide, and I left that one up for
Mhm.
a little while so folks could see it. But move on to another slide. You'll love this one. So I'm quoting it: Trump on Iran. The unfreezing. We have taken a lot of their money. It's not our money. At a certain point in time, I guess we're going to have to give it back. Now this is from Aaron Rupar. and you and I've talked both online and
Mhm.
offline. You have to be careful with whatever you read and share from Aaron Rupar, because
Yeah.
he has a tendency to say things or paraphrase things that's not what he meant. So I listened to this video. That is what Donald Trump said. So so Donald Trump has been saying since 2015 that the
Yeah.
Obama deal, where Obama gave them billions of dollars, okay, that he would have never done that. Well, this is exactly the same thing. But Obama didn't give it to them. This was all their assets that were unfrozen, even the $1.7 billion dollars up front. So, my God, and Obama didn't give them 300 billion access to 300 billion plus 100
Yeah.
billion in released assets.
Isn't the word reparations, and this is kind of a dumb question, isn't that implying you did something wrong or like you
Yes,
need help or so what I mean, why are we even calling it that? Not a retribution, a reparation fund. I mean, a reconstruction, whatever it is. I mean, to me that just kind of seems like you feel sympathy for them or something. What the heck? It's totally bizarre. And yeah, I mean, was it really Trump back then? Like as a he wasn't elected yet, right? So back in
that's right.
2015 when the JCPOA came out, was he really that vocal about how awful of a deal it was, or
All the
was it more
time.
he was on the bandwagon?
I mean,
Really?
they so CNN did a montage, I think it was today, where they went back and showed all the times that he was criticizing the money and the deal, and the United States giving them this money and blah blah blah, and it just went on forever. So
Oh,
this has been the hypocrisy is incredible here. I mean, this is the
yeah.
weakest the United States has ever looked. And again, I want to emphasize, okay, the money that Obama gave them the money that Obama gave them was from release of monies that was actually theirs, okay, and it was not just some freebie check. He's doing exactly the same thing, and he's trying to whitewash it. But I'm going to tell you right
I,
now, as you mentioned earlier, there's a whole lot of people. They're not buying it. They are not buying it, and this are Republicans that there's Trump's turd polishers. They never criticize him, and they are openly. Even Ben Shapiro did this. Did you see Ben Shapiro today? Even
oh, I'm
Ben
sure
Shapiro
he's
on Fox
pissed.
News.
Oh
So,
no. I mean, so Will Chamberlain, I mean, come on. When you lose that guy, it's like you got. But no, I just saw a post from Ted Cruz like I want to say an hour ago. It really bothered me because it was like him kind of saying, "Oh, the JCPOA was designed to give Iran access to nuclear weapons." I'm so sick of hearing that. I mean, how dare you today say that? Like I get that that's been the talking point you've been running with, but you're really still going to try and say that? It's just not even true. And then he said something like, I hope the president thinks blah blah blah. But I was just like I commented, I was like, be honest. Like we deserve to know what's going on. Like be honest for once, Ted Cruz. Like ugh. So
you, you
I
know,
feel like Congress is almost worse than the influencers at this point because they're just trying to be like encourage him in the right direction, probably. I think they're legitimately worried.
yeah, and
So
it's interesting you do that because even he's been a little bit reserved in his support, and Ted Cruz will always back up Donald Trump. Doesn't matter what Donald Trump does to him or says about his wife. So that's how bad it is. Now, I'll tell you something else. I don't know if you saw this, but I put up a post yesterday, I think it was, and I said, one of my concerns, and hopefully this won't happen, but one of my concerns is that the information that they release to us as Americans is going to be different than the actual agreement that they signed. And so now we
yeah,
find out today at the G7 that Donald Trump was circulating a different draft than what Iran has, that Iran's going to be circulating. Well, wait a second. Which one did you sign? And then
yeah.
after that they said, well, you've got to understand too, that there's certain things in the MOU that we just didn't want to put in writing, but they're understandings. What is that? A pinky promise? I mean,
I know.
if you can't agree to it, if you can't agree to it in writing, it's not an agreement. Okay, and let's also remember this is not an agreement. It's a agreement to go to
Talk about
another
yeah,
agreement and talk about it a little bit longer. This is not a deal. I mean, it's a hey, let's just keep talking kind of a deal. But here, let me give you tens or hundreds of billions of dollars up front, to make it a little bit
Well,
sweeter, so you'll continue talking.
did you see that the post I made last night about that law,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
IRA? Yeah, so I'm wondering if
So,
that's maybe
go
why they're
ahead and
not
go
releasing
ahead and
it.
explain that a little bit, so people
Yeah, just
understand.
briefly, it's the Iran nuclear something EA something. So basically what happened was Congress, after Obama passed the JCPOA, not passed, it's not a treaty, but did that kind of unilaterally with other countries, but he was kind of on his own, his administration. It wasn't really Congress, it didn't go through Congress, whatever. It did get a UN something. Anyway, they were kind of just after that, they were like, look, Iran national security is huge. It's a huge risk for us. We need to be involved basically because these sanctions that are being relieved were passed into law by us. So they were kind of pissed. From my understanding, Congress was like, we didn't take away the law. And they were just like, we need to be involved. So all future presidents that are dealing with Iran's nuclear program and or
Hmm.
sanctions relief, we need to be briefed within 5 days of the signing of the agreement, and we get a 30-day review period where no sanctions relief will be enacted in that time. I mean, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty
It's very
involved.
specific. It's
Yeah,
very,
because
and it was a
it's
bipartisan
nearly
deal too. It was a bipartisan deal, as I
it was
recall too.
nearly unanimous, nearly unanimous. So, I mean, I don't know if Democrats were just kind of, I think it was just, in good faith, like, hey, okay, let's make sure in the future we're kind of on the same page here. So, to me, Trump needs to get this deal out to them. He has to, based on that. And it's like whether they're going to enforce their own law that they created, the one time they're willing to take
Hmm.
their own power back, or not. But I did see John Thune had a quote, like somebody asked him, "Hey, have you gotten a copy of it?" He's like, "No." So they were asking him specifically about that. It's just super interesting. Like the Friday would put it at 6 days, right? Because it says it has to be 5 days. So if I was
Yeah,
Congress, I would be losing it.
yeah. I mean, the Gang of Eight hasn't even seen it, or well, they may have
Mhm.
now. I mean, now it's been publicly released. But again,
I
I'm
think
going
they
to
want
go
to see the
back.
legit one, though, right? I would be
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
"Show
which
me
one
what you
is it?
signed."
Yeah, what did you
Yeah, I'd be like,
sign? I want to see exactly what you signed, and
exactly.
be honest with us, because it looks like right now it is all they're doing is you've got JD Vance going to every single station that'll have him on, and all he's saying is how great this deal is, and then he says, oh, there was no $300 billion, $300 billion. Well, yes, there was. Well, there's no guarantees of relief. Well, yes, there was. I mean, it's we're dealing. We're gonna there will they how did he say it? They will never make another nuclear weapon. They've agreed to that. No, they didn't. Okay,
Yeah, he's not.
that's
He's
not that's not what's in there.
he's being very weird with his words. He's saying if they don't act right, they're gonna do. He'll say like really vague statements like that, or he'll say if they don't, it's all contingent on Iran being a good partner or something. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, he's not saying very specifically they must agree not to enrich up to, what I mean? Like Obama was out there being very specific when he was
It's very
ready to talk
specific.
about the
Yeah,
deal that he had
yeah,
worked on for years. This is
yeah.
just like a thrown together mess
A thrown together
and
bullshit. Yeah,
purposely vague. Yeah.
I'm 1,000% with you, and I'm gonna move on to this next slide because
Yeah.
this kind of the icing on the cake. Uh, and I did have to listen to this one too. So those that are listening to me and talking about this, I'm not just sharing something I haven't verified. I listened to this one too. Wait a second. Here we go, Lauren.
Oh, man.
Trump on Iran ballistic missiles. Quote, they have to have some. Some of these guys, I don't think they are smart. Sir, you should let them have any missiles. What am I going to do? Let Saudi Arabia have missiles, but Iran can't have them? Missiles aren't the problem. Missiles, they hurt a little location, but they don't blow up the planet. Are you fucking kidding me? So now he's okay with them having ballistic missiles.
It
So he's
sounds like
okay with them
a
having nuclear
child.
material. He's okay with them having ballistic missiles. He's okay with the money going anywhere, including supporting Hezbollah or the Houthis or any of their terrorist groups. What in the
Dude,
world
what?
is this?
Wait, what about him saying if Saudi's allowed to have missiles, then Iran can? That's like a big middle finger to Saudi. Like,
It
what
is,
the
it
heck,
is,
right?
and Israel. And then he said too, and
Oh,
I don't remember if I got a slide on this, but so apologize everybody. But he also said they asked him, okay, what about the nuclear material? This was the killer. What about the nuclear material? Did you agree to get that out? And he says, well, I can't tell them that they can't have some nuclear material when other people have nuclear material.
This
So
is what
have
this
we
is
given
all
up on
this
that
is
too?
that is what this whole thing has been about. Okay. The imminent threat was because of the nuclear program, even though it kind of wasn't, because we blew it up supposedly. And, this whole thing has been about that. But you didn't want to do diplomacy because the JCPOA was weak, right? So we're going to go bomb them and, do a regime change in order for them to not be able to get a nuke or not want a nuke or whatever. We're going to install these reasonable people. It was all about the nuke the whole time. I mean, it was about the Iranian people for like 2 seconds, but we all know that was fake. So yeah, it was all about a nuke. I mean, I don't know if he's losing it. Sorry, I'm so angry about it. That's what I'm talking about. Every hour there's like a new video of absurdity, you know?
It is. And I mean, you read this stuff, and I don't know about you, but I read this stuff on X or elsewhere, and I'm like, that's not true. That's not true. He didn't say that. They didn't agree to that. This is a parody account. This is a troll trying to push something that's not true. This is AI, and every single bit of it's been true. It is complete
Yeah.
capitulation. I mean, when you're okay with them having a nuclear program, when you're okay with them potentially keeping all of that nuclear material inside Iran,
Yeah.
now they can't build a bomb, but technically, they can
They can
enrich to
enrich
90 or
uranium. Yeah.
95% and put it right here on this side of the desk
And then the
and have
breakout time
have
is
all
like
the little building things to put the bomb together right over here and here. Technically, they don't have a bomb, but they do have a bomb.
no
So,
inspection. I
and
mean,
no
it's
inspection. And how are they going to do that? So, it's just, it is absolutely the worst possible. This is a million times, no, let me rephrase that. This is a billions times worse
100
than the
billion.
JCPOA. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we're not the only ones that feel this way. I'm going to read a quote for those that aren't here or can't see it, from Senator Bill Cassidy, Republican Bill Cassidy. He says Reagan is rolling over in his grave. Iran's nuclear ambitions were not curbed, and they have learned that threatening the Strait of Hormuz works and will undoubtedly leverage it in the future. Now Iran gets to build brand new infrastructure under this deal. Before the war, the strait was open. Iran was being crushed by sanctions, and 13 service members were still alive. Now 13 Americans are dead. Families have paid billions at the pump. Sanctions will be lifted, and the bombing has stopped. This is the worst foreign policy blunder in decades. Yep,
Oh, he said that. Ooh.
yep, that's what Bill Cassidy just said. Now, it's probably worth pointing out that Bill Cassidy just got lost his primary thanks to Donald Trump. But yes, that's
Yeah,
exactly
but
true.
I mean, I wonder if Tillis has said anything. I try to follow him too because,
He's been
um,
he's been very critical of it too. I think one of his comments the last I saw is he wants to see the context of the how it's spelled out in
yeah,
the agreement. Well, yeah, we all would. But my question back once again, is that really the agreement? Because if Iran has one agreement that they said they agreed to, and the
yeah,
United States has one agreement, and they're both say, or and the United States is saying, well, there's things in the agreement that that we didn't put in writing that everybody understands we're supposed to do. Really? Okay. And then you have Donald Trump out there saying, well, they can have their ballistic missiles because other people have got ballistic missiles. They can have a nuclear program because other people have a nuclear program. We're going to give them hundreds of billions of dollars up front. Because that's not our money. That's actually, it's always their money. I mean, this is there's you
it goes
it,
against
you it
every
does.
single thing that the super pro war. Because I have a lot of friends who voted for Trump. They were pro this war because of whatever reason. It goes against every single thing that was pro the war. Because again, I supported it in principle. If the right people were in charge. But there's no case to be made that is, you know, every strategic goal has been abandoned. Everything has been, emboldening Iran.
Hmm.
I mean, we look like complete, um, yeah, we're screwing over allies. It's so bad. But so you say though, did they sign the actual one or did they have a different version? how could it be worse? You know,
I don't know
like
how it
what
could be
we're
worse.
reading is so bad, right?
Yeah, I mean, how you're, that's a good point. I don't know how it could be worse. And
But
I
you're
want to
right. I mean, it's definitely
reemphasize that
possible.
this isn't an agreement. It's an agreement to work on an agreement. So, it's so basically Iran gets everything right up front, all the carrots right up front with no stick, and this is absolute insanity. So, do you remember yesterday you and I were talking about why the hell is he doing this? This doesn't make sense. And I think we
Yeah.
both agreed it doesn't he doesn't give a damn about the Republican Party. Okay, he
Hmm.
doesn't give a damn about the midterms. I mean, yeah, he'd like certain people to win, but the people that he wants to win probably won't win. And the only reason he wants them to win is because they'll be Trump sycophants. Okay, he's
Hmm.
got 2 more years and he's out. He's gone. So we were talking about
Yeah.
why is he doing this? Well, he gave a big hint today. Why are you doing this? And he said, well, if I didn't, what were his words? He said, I didn't want to become another Herbert Hoover. We'd have put the entire planet into a depression. And I'm paraphrasing what he said, um, but it was economic because the world was running out of oil, which is something you and I and this program have been saying from the beginning. We're coming to an end of of oil. And I'll tell you something else, Lauren. I'm not completely sure that we're still not going to have some major hiccups out of it. I don't care how fast the tankers get rolling. A lot of the planting season's over. It's the fertilizer, it's the
Oh
aluminum.
yeah.
And let's not forget,
I
it
thought it
can
was
take
guaranteed.
yeah, and let's not forget, it can take 60 days for an oil tanker to get from the Middle East to where they're going to have to pump it out and start processing, make it jet fuel
Yeah.
or gasoline or whatever they're going to make. So we're not out of this yet. I'm going to end this because we're almost out of time. I want to get your feedback on this because when I took this post, I was like, I can't wait to see what Lauren has to say about this. So I'm going to read it. This is from Donald
Now,
Trump.
good call on that. You were right about the economy, though. Props to
It,
you.
yeah. So I'm gonna read this one. This is another one. For folks that don't know, I very rarely will take anything that somebody posts that is supposed to be from Donald Trump on Truth Social and repost it. Instead, I've got a Truth Social account, unfortunately. I did that, I took one for the team, just so I can verify some of the crazy batshit stuff that we see and make sure it's true. So this is
I have it
actually my
too.
pick. This is true. I took this one myself, and well, let me read it, and then I'm going to push it out to you, Lauren, because I know we're almost out of time. Quote, so happy for highly respected Congressman Mike Collins. He will win his Senate race in Georgia against a pathetic, failed Democrat Senator Os Jerkoff, who is a joke in D.C. Nobody even knows who he is. I'll be doing big Trump rallies for Mike in Georgia, President DJT, whatever.
I can't. Well,
Os
that's actually really
Jerkoff,
funny because
Os Jerkoff.
yeah,
I mean, who
I
talks
don't even
like
get
that?
it. It's not even like I don't even get it. It's not even like funny, like a
It's
hip
not
joke.
funny.
It's just
It's not just the president. This is the presidency. Have we come to a point, Lauren, that we accept this type of discussion and talk and talking points from the president of the United States? I mean, this is stuff
no,
that you
I
would hear
don't think so.
in middle school. This is stuff they think is funny in middle school. And this is the
Yeah.
president of the United States. And by the way, Lauren, let me just tell you real quick, because I really would like to hear your point. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Collins ain't going to win that race, and it ain't going
So
to
I
be
know
close. It
it's
is
really
not going to be
I mean,
close.
it's such a dig to Kemp too. Oh my gosh, because he wants that Dooley guy, and I don't even know much about him, but I like Kemp relatively.
Yeah,
So the fact that he wanted that other guy, and Mike Collins is like total sycophant type. So it's like not only is he just totally projecting. Also, if everybody knows who that is, they're calling him like the next Obama,
yeah.
Obama. So it's just coping. Trump trying to just
I saw the
flash it
polling
out.
today on that, and they're saying now that for the first time since 1990, both the governor and the Senate will both be Democrats in Georgia.
Really? Did you see
So
that? What
and
was
it
the
wasn't
margin one
close,
also?
and it wasn't close.
Was it like less than 10? A little bit less than
It's
10? I
I think
saw it
it's
at like 8,
plus
7.
5, +8, something like that. I think it was.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not talking about Ossoff. I'm talking about the governor race. The Senate race is
Yeah.
over. That's the Republicans aren't going to put any money
Oh,
into that race because there's no way it's going to happen. They're going to have to put their money into Texas and Ohio and potentially Alaska and Maine. So we'll have that
true.
discussion, kind of where we're at right now. But it's just
Yeah.
they're not keeping
That's no,
Georgia. They're
I
not
hate
flipping
that though.
Georgia. Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching us this evening.
Thank
If you
you.
haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. If you're watching it right now, you're watching it through YouTube. All you have to do is press the subscribe button. Press like if you like our discussions. If you've got a question, leave it. You know, me, Lauren, the whole team, we'll talk about it on air. We really will bring it up. We've done it many times before. We're happy to do it again. We are in the process of starting a quote restream so that we are not just on YouTube, but we'll be on most major social media platforms. So that is in the works right now. Hopefully, within the next week to 2 weeks, you'll see us all over the place. Thanks again, Lauren,
Yeah.
for joining. Really appreciate it.
Thank
It's always
you.
great commentary from you, and appreciate all you're doing and being on here. Thank you, everybody,
Yeah,
for
thanks for
watching us tonight,
listening.
and we'll see you again tomorrow afternoon.
All right.
The No Bull Political Arena is on all major social media platforms. Make sure to give us and your host a follow.
Hey everybody, this is Sophia Nelson. Follow me at I am Sophia Nelson on every one of my social media platforms.
I'm Bill O'Reilly, and you can reach me at Twitter at WFBOR.
Hey, this is TJ. Follow me on X or Twitter at TJ McCormack.
This is Brian Mistro, and you can follow me on X at Brian_Mistro or follow along on Facebook at Brian.Mistro.
A No Bull Media Group member.